Thank you, Madam Chair. Colleagues, I stand to oppose this bill. I've spoken a little bit before about how I've had the opportunity to work on issues like this. I served on the Dependency and Neglect Task Force and the CPS Working Group over the interim, and I learned a lot doing that. And one of the things, I think the single most important thing that I learned is that when the state intervenes to remove a child from their family, that is one of the most serious and weighty responsibilities that the state has. That is not something that should be taken lightly. And frankly, I think every time a child is removed from their family, it's a tragedy. Sometimes it's a necessary tragedy, but it's tragic nonetheless, and it has consequences. This bill does not come close to the seriousness with which those decisions should be contemplated. And I want to talk to you briefly about what's actually in the bill. So the first thing you'll see on page 1, line 19, any child protective service specialist, peace officer, or county attorney who has reason to believe any child is in immediate or apparent danger of harm may immediately remove the child. That's existing law. What we're adding down below, line 24, a child transitioning gender with the support of a parent or guardian is considered in immediate or danger or apparent danger of or harm. That's a pretty big statement that we are making. Let's dig in a little bit. Transitioning gender is what we're looking at. It's not defined in this bill. It's not defined anywhere else in MCA. So what does that mean? Maybe it means, like the sponsor said, surgery or medical treatment. Maybe it means therapy, mental health care. Maybe it means a kid who gets a haircut and a new set of clothes. Maybe it means a name change. Are we talking about a legal name change or just somebody who wants to try out a different name? Are we talking about a young person who is experimenting in the safety of their home or their family? Does that count? Does this have to rise to the level of happening out in the world or at school? We don't know. We don't know. A strict reading of this bill could include all of that. So then what happens? Mandatory reporters are now required to call the CPS centralized intake and report immediate or apparent danger or harm to kids because they've got a new haircut and a new name? How is a teacher supposed to know whether the kid who's new in their class is a tomboy or a trans kid? But they're a mandatory reporter, so I guess they're calling. And now CPS have to investigate. This is legislative intent. It's in statute. So they have to investigate. So what happens now? Those CPS workers who, by the way, are already busy working to protect kids and support families who are dealing with issues like domestic violence, substance abuse, mental illness, real issues that we know are a problem in our state. They're also out there investigating these reports. And so finally, put yourself in the shoes of a CPS worker who's confronted with a young person, 15 years old maybe, who is happy, healthy, living in a stable home with loving parents, who is supported and has their needs met, and they are supposed to remove that child from that home and put them into the care of the state. We should absolutely not be doing this. Even if you disagree, and I know many of us do, that young people deserve the right to live their lives with freedom and self-determination, including with regards to their gender determination, I hope we can agree that the vision laid out in this bill is not right for Montana. Please vote no.
Now arises on the motion of Representative Schubert that when this committee does rise and report after having had under consideration House Bill 754, it recommend the same do pass. Those in favor of the motion vote aye. Those opposed vote no. Are there absentee votes?
None, Madam Chair.
Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? If not, the clerk will record the vote.
Madam Chair, 27 representatives have voted aye, 71 have voted no.
House Bill 754 has failed to pass second reading.